I am Niveditha.Indrajit and I am in conversation with Meena Gulla. I fondly call her as Meena Ma. So welcome to In Conversation with me. Thank you for agreeing to do this. We are on different time zones. You're in the US and I'm in India. And our journey began many years ago when we just met at a breathwork session. And then we continued conversations with each other. And I think at one point you were doing weight management and you were also doing TaiChi easy and you were on this path to self-discover, Isha Yoga and all that. And that's when our paths crossed again and we started interacting more often. And I done my weight management course with you to understand how this works because I think I've loved food and I've loved interacting with my body and how food can be explored. So it's been many years and I still go by that.
That's a very nice, yes.
To Meenama, I know.
Nice, yeah.
So my question is, was Meena like this when she was a kid or was she very, very, very naughty?
As a kid, I think I'm very quiet from the childhood. And I think I'm always into food, Nivedita. So, unconsciously, it was an unconscious choice that time, because my mom was a very creative person and she really, really cooked interesting food and she always wanted to learn new things, right? And me as a little girl, I will sit next to her. We used to have this small stool, okay? And she will tell me, Meenu, taste this, Meenu, taste this, and I will really give her a very good compliment. So recently, not recently, a few years later, after I left home, she kind of missed it. She said, see, after you moved out, it has not really, that interesting to cook food anymore. So I think I'm always a foodie. I just loved eating food. And recently, after getting married, after moving to US, I think I realized that even I love cooking and be very creative at cooking. So that's what I realized. Yes.
And I think you grew up in a space where there's a lot of introspection and I think with your father working back in Dharwad and your sisters and the environment that you grow, I think that has helped introspection become part of you. I think, let me know if that is true.
No, it's not that. Actually, it's my grandfather.
Oh yeah,
so
your grandfather.
Yes, my grandfather. What happened, Nivedita, while growing up, we were in Bhatkal for some time, and then we moved to Dharwad for interesting reasons. And my dad had to move out. He continued his journey, with the transfers and all that. But we settled down in Dharwad, right? So my grandfather, as he took spiritual path and he became a spiritual leader. There is an ashram in Dharwad. So I have a very fond memory of him sharing his bits of small advice for me. And out of all what I remember him sharing, he always told women to cook food because women were, right, majority, they were the major people who are cooking, right, in the food. And he always told them cook the food, with all these thoughts that lets this food become prasad for the whole family. And he told men or people in the family that not to say, oh, there is little extra salt or this or that. No complaints. Eat food as if you're eating prasad. So he always told people how to treat food. I think that was in my system, and I realized the value of his words after I did my course, as a body mind coach, and even before that, weight management coach, right? We were reading this book by Mark David, Slow Down Diet. And there is a chapter, metabolic power of sacred, how sacred, feeling, getting this, instilling this feeling or thoughts, how food really becomes sacred in our body.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these are the thoughts that came from my grandfather, and he shared many more things. I think in a way he has put a seed, right, in me, and that sprouted, long after, he passed away, and then, now I think, I don't know if it has become tree yet, but it is
I can see
growing every
it's
single.
become a tree, and it is very representative also. There is a tree behind you as well.
Yeah. So yes, he put those initial seeds in me, and being a foodie, and taking all these thoughts, right, and then I just realized how valuable those words were.
After I met you, I think I've begun to love food more and appreciate food more and actually have a different relationship with food. See,
Yeah.
earlier when there
Uh-huh.
would be, I was never a diet person, eat whatever and,
Yeah.
just have
Mm-hmm.
food. And I love cooking, so cooking is always tried different dishes, tried different cuisines and all that. And
Yes.
then there was an accident, and then I put on weight, and this was way back, I think, in 2008.
Mm.
So that's when I said, okay, I need to do something. And so my sister would tell me there is a lady who's done Ayurvedic diet. So why don't we go? I said, why Ayurvedic diet? Let me go there. So I experienced that, and there was a certain respect for that kind of understanding of the body way back then. And later
Mm-hmm.
I met
Mm-hmm.
you, and you talked about food not from a diet perspective, but what goes in. How do you
Yes.
uh, have a relationship with food, and what is the colors and stuff? So that really has
Yes.
remained in my muscle memory. While
Mm-hmm.
I love the way the Ayurvedic diet was provided based on my body from a technical perspective, this is
Mm-hmm.
more me. This is more layman. This is more
Yeah.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, can
Mm-hmm.
you talk more about what you do best?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
food, the weight management, the programs that you do. Can you briefly tell about each of them and how your journey started to go there?
Yeah. Right. Right. So it is interesting, Niveditha, the way the journey started for me. I enrolled my son into Balavihar, and there was a program, weight management program, conducted by Dr. Kaleen Bakshi. So me being foodie, and those days I thought, eating food and being creative means, eating a lot of food and, weight, right? That translates to weight. So I needed something to hold on to, right? Some program. And I told my friend, okay, let's go for this program. But once we started the program, I was really surprised that, or I went with the thought that, okay, I need to eat something that I don't really like. I need to really go on a salad, or really need to go on food. Probably, I'm not going to like it. But then he showed me, we were doing this book and reading the chapter, the metabolic power. And as I understood the metabolic power, it was like just understanding me how the body is speaking its own language,
You're referring to
and
the
how.
Slow Down Diet by Mark David, right?
Yes, yes, that was the reference for that course that time. The weight management course I was doing with him, and then just by relaxing, just by being me, and I could just hold on to my taste bud, pleasure, and all that, right? And I could see the result. Okay, so after doing that, and we moved to Hyderabad, right? So I observed people, and especially where I was living, right? Ladies, they, I used to hear. I think I'm a people person too, and I'm like really observant and really watch people around me. So what happened? I used to watch these people. They will say, "Oh man, I ate food that I was not supposed to eat. Anyway, I'll hit gym tomorrow, or I'll walk extra an hour or 2 hours, right?" And then one time, there was a very interesting event happened. We were traveling by train, and I met this young girl, 16-year-old girl. And she was like, all her cousins were teasing her how she was on diet and all that. And she heard this word, I was a weight management coach. And then, I started talking to her. She said, I diet. And I asked her, how do you diet? She said, the whole day I won't eat enough food. So I asked her, how do you feel by end of the day? She said, I feel very dizzy and so weak, all that, right? So meeting different people of all, coming from all areas of life. Even I met an old lady. She said one, Meena, I want to lose weight because I don't want to be burdened, right? In my old age for people who take care of me. So I looked at the food and then, wow, there's so much goes on, right? Around the food and the stress. Um, and how people eat food first and then they go into that punishing mode, and never really enjoy that food, and then they always think body is a barrier, right? If I eat something I like, I put on weight, right? And
Yes.
it is like, in a way food becomes enemy. It's not really friend anymore. So I'm like, wow, it was always running in my mind how I can bring this concept, such a wonderful concept, to
Mhm.
people. Always, always. And I struggle because initially I struggle because whenever I talk to people, probably, even today when I start the program, right? It is always like, okay, what are you going to suggest? If you are not the one suggesting the food, right? And how I'm going to stick onto something, probably it is not going to work, right? It takes some time to understand that body has a wisdom. Body has it really has a wisdom, and it knows what it wants and all that. So through the program, right, I try to bring all these concepts to them, you know so just by relaxing, just by eating, like you said, right, tapping to the wisdom of pleasure, right? The pleasure doesn't mean that, okay, I go on eating French fries, right? If I'm eating French fries, right, it's a compulsion. We can look at it, why we are eating French fries all the time. Or is there, we just replace the taste, the whatever taste you like in the French fries with something else, so there is no compromise on the pleasure or the taste you are used to. So these are the techniques as I bring it to people. I have worked with so many people, Niveditha, and I go back and ask them also out of curiosity, how they are doing, right? This is something because it is like so much, they are tuned to their body, they listen to their body and learn. It's like, what they like, what are the kind of food they like, how they can manage the diet. It just becomes like a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
and
It's
and you
easier
showed
to
me
become a
actually.
lifestyle.
Yeah, and
It's
then
easier.
yeah, and with you and every client, this is another beauty of, I don't know every single thing, right? I just talk to people and people have so much wisdom. Oh man, when I listen to them clearly, they have something to bring to me, right? And I met you, you showed me what is embodiment. I heard about embodiment, right? But you showed me how to embody somebody, into their own body. And then when I met you, you were real inspiration for me because you were somebody who converted my concepts into, yes, I was using for myself. And you showed me that confidence that, okay, I'm here as a participant. And and you were very good at doing the homework, bang on
Yeah.
doing the homework.
I
Yeah,
enjoy.
and
I
then
think the thing that I remember most was relaxation and the placebo and the story and
yes.
the sacred. I think these were the most significant for me at that point of time.
Yeah, and then you had to hear the story of relaxation, Nivedita. The relaxation. I was working with this one auntie. Okay, I don't want to tell the names or anything here. So we just worked on. She used to be very stressed, right? And then I just want to share this story. How much relaxation can bring something to people, right? So she never told me about her side issue, right? So one time I just asked her, Auntie, just let's relax, right? And she said, I don't know how to relax. Then I asked her, what what makes you, relax, or any image or anything that that makes you feel comfortable, right? She said, whenever I see Buddha, picture, I feel very relaxed. So what we did, we ended up putting the Buddha statue she had in her house, right, on her dining table. So that 1 month she ate very relaxed way. She shared me one thing that was very amazing. By end of 1 month, I think she told me she used to have this super acidity by end of the day, and her maid suggested that maybe she should go and see doctor, because she used to get medicine from Jaipur, and then she used to feel really bloated, right, by end of the day. She told me in 1 month not a single day she felt bloated or she had acidity. That was
Wow.
like wow factor for me. Okay.
Yeah.
And recently I'm working with one more client. This is not about food, this is the life coaching. While talking, she told me one thing. Her toenail has a fungus, and then it's like something she noticed that it is getting better just by relaxing. And there are certain things we have relaxed or massaged in her body, and she's feeling that the touch with nature or touch with herself, right? It is kind of relaxing her, right? And she see that healing power, and that does so much to people. Yeah, that one simple metabolic power.
Yeah, this is so beautiful, actually. I mean, we think that we have to do something humongous, or we have to do workouts, or we have to, torture
Mhm.
ourselves in order to become someone. But
Yes.
becoming someone is someone you love. We need to
Hmm.
become somebody we love, not somebody we will hate to be because that is so difficult.
Yeah, it is. And I was listening to the story. If the river is flowing, right? If you are in really in with the flow, right? There is no resistance. To put up that resistance, how much hard work this body or person has to put, right?
Yeah,
So that is a struggle by itself. So
yeah.
that's all. That's a the simple fundamental thing in the weight management, just to be in that flow. That's all.
I
And
know
we
that.
understand that by the. Uh-huh.
I know that as spiritual practices, you do yoga and you do Isha yoga, and you have been to. Have you been to the Himalayas with Sadhguru, or you were
No, no,
planning to
no.
go? You were planning.
I want to go one time. I want to go.
So, how did the
Yeah.
practices of that yoga and everything come about? Like, how did you start the journey of that?
That is also very interesting for me. When I look back, I think nature has its own wisdom when to reveal, the knowledge that is required, right, for me. So when we moved to Hyderabad, probably I was searching or seeking for something that I really didn't know. I met this friend. She told me there is something called inner engineering program, and I was not really interested. Right, I didn't know who Sadhguru was that time really. And there was this yoga class that was happening in our community hall. So I saw this one video where he shared, the Shiva and the Saptarishi, and me being a logical person, for me, everything need to be very scientific. For that matter, even the psychology of eating is very, very scientific. It's like somebody tell me, oh, do this is not enough. They give some reason, yes. So that was very interesting for me, the story that was presented. Then I said, okay, let's go and see what this is all about. I didn't know Sadhguru. I didn't know who he was, and I didn't even know what was offered in the program. Inner engineering, there was a Shambhavi Kriya, nothing at all. I just went with a very open mind. I think from the childhood, this is something I have a blessing also. I'm very kind of neutral, in the sense I don't go by any judgment. I just walked the hall, and 3 days were like, just sitting with no judgment. And third day, I feel there was something beautiful that happened, and I felt this is something, part of me, right? And I was in tears when he just walked away from the hall. It's not about him. I know there is something, energy, right, that connects. And probably I always had this feeling of, I think while growing, there were some challenges, right? With my parents, right? We were four children, and they could not give so much attention to each one of us, right? And being in a big family, right? And with a lot of social interaction, right? The attention gets really divided. So this was the first time after doing yoga I understood I don't need anybody to listen. I just had to connect with myself. This is something that showed me. And after that I did 40 days religiously, the mandala, right? And my friend of mine came and asked me after 40 days, somewhere between, Meena, did you go for facial or something like that? Because my skin was glowing after
Yeah.
30 days. And I did not check myself in the mirror. I went back and checked. It was true because I used to have a lot of pimples, Niveditha, before that. Okay. And even today, when I even like few years back, I met my friend. She said, I don't know what you're doing, Meena. Your face is good now, glowing. Okay. So coming back, how these two things work together, right? Yoga, by itself, it is union, right? Union
Yes.
with nature, just like the way I was telling you, how you can be in a flow, right? And it brings the ease also, and then I understood how many walls of resistance I am putting for myself. And interesting thing is, I put a wall of resistance and I have to cross those hurdles. So first of all, why put those walls? And then, I need to, really feel that, I have to jump all these walls, right? So I understood how, we are putting the resistance and there is so much stress in the body because of all these thoughts, how much these thoughts occupy ourselves, right? The energy, how much energy is drained out of all this.
That's true.
And so the realization has come, and I think you have also, along with yoga and the body mind coaching, you have introduced this one more thing, the journaling, right?
Yeah.
Journaling, and I'm doing those morning pages. It's
I
beautiful,
I
Instead of,
accidentally found The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and I think it's a very beautiful book, and it is very self-explanatory because they also have a workbook. So
yes,
anybody can
yes,
just pick up The Artist's Way. It has got a 12-week questions. The main thing
yes,
being morning pages and artist date. I think it's a
yes.
beautiful book. Any time of the day and any day of the year.
And it is like, you, I think after meeting you, you are the first person to introduce me to these patterns. Till then, I did not even know the patterns. And I enjoy doing the morning pages and understanding the patterns and how I'm repeating, year after year after year, and they have stayed with me. It's not that I'm out of all those patterns. I had to still work on them. But then this morning pages and the artist state, they really give the room for that, to understand the patterns. Once we recognize the pattern, right? It is like, doctor is trying to find what the issue is. Finding the issue is more than 50%, you know. Uh, and then the diagnosis or the healing happens, automatically after that.
When we
That's how.
acknowledge it, it moves, it shifts because we most of the time we don't acknowledge what is going on with us.
Yes, yes,
And we
yes,
think that once we have reached a certain position in life or certain strata in life, we should be all sorted. We can never be
yes,
sorted 100%.
yes, yes,
There will
yes.
always be something that's going to come up, and that's the vulnerability we be, right?
Yeah, 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 true.
So thank you for being
So
vulnerable. When you say you're a mind body coach or you're a weight management coach, that people expect that you should have six pack or a slender body, or there are point of views that people have that you should be all sorted out. You will not have any problems in life, but that is not true, right? I mean, we will continue to be
I want to share a
vulnerable.
very interesting thing here too, right? Right now, I think after moving to California, I realized, another thing that happened, but I feel this is another thing. my life is full of challenges. I mean, moving to California, I was thinking, oh my God, when I was feeling so comfortable, why was all of a sudden pushed here, with the challenges? And in that, not, there is something called not agreeing, right? Not agreeing to be in the place. I have paid the price now, and I have put on weight. I would say now, in last 3 years, close to 20 pounds. You know, but now again, after doing the body mind coaching thing, I'm like trying to be, here, here in the new place, and I understood finally. Challenge is good. This is the one thing I have come to my understanding in last 1 year. Challenge make us grow, right? And I was talking to you. You told me how stagnant. Being stagnant means it is just like, I'm asking for death, right?
Yeah, I
So
mean, if everything is going on and on and on, life can be really easy, actually. Even the hardship can
yeah,
be easy. It's just that
yeah,
we don't view it as that the hardship can be easy.
exactly,
We think that
exactly,
we are very
exactly.
less than, that we cannot cope
Yeah,
with it. But why would we get
yeah,
something that we cannot cope with? We never ask ourselves
yeah.
that.
Yes, yes. So that was a life lesson. Recently, I understood that challenges are good because life has a lesson. It has to deliver something, and once it deliver the message, it just disappear. So I don't now. This is something I coach even to my clients now. Recently I was talking to somebody. How even I was there in her shoes. Okay, whenever I see somebody suffering, my heart goes really right. Why this person has to go through so much suffering, poor thing, all that. And I will really spend whole day thinking about that person. Now, something has come to my understanding that suffering is a blessing in disguise. It has some message for that person. If the person is willing to listen to the message, it has to deliver that message and it will go away.
Yeah,
So in a way, I was telling this one, you know how much I love to tell stories, right?
yeah,
So I remember, right? I was telling her, right? The butterfly, right? When it was a caterpillar, it was suppose I heard the story. Somebody, watching this caterpillar, how much it was struggling to come out of that shell, and they said, okay, let's break the shell and help it, right, to come out of that. And then watch, what happened. That the butterfly was really not really didn't form the wings properly. It was not a full-fledged butterfly. It was crippled one. So why? Because we thought, that person thought the struggle was something he could not really see that, and then he helped the butterfly. What happened? It did not form full wings, right? So struggle is good. What I want to see, struggle is good.
yeah. So we most often times facilitate on other people our awareness. We don't wait to facilitate until the other person's awareness.
Yes, 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 yes. So these are something the beautiful life lessons I learned, Nivedita. And after I started my journey, the funny thing has happened. I really don't watch so much of TV or the movies because I don't find them interesting now. I find I find the uncut and unedited life stories of people is more interesting than the something that is written by somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
So, what is there anything that is there in your life that you feel like, oh, this is something I would like to talk about. This is something I'd like to see some change in. Is
mhm.
there anything that given a platform that you would speak about?
Yeah. So these days, I think while doing this course, this topic has really become big in my mind. Maybe one or two. Okay. I will address recently, actor Sushant Singh Rajput suicide case came out, right? So there are two things I really wanted to bring. I think if I given any platform, feminism is one thing I really, really, that is a very, the concept that is, I'm really attached to that, I think. So while doing the course, I understood how feminism is under attack. When I say under attack, see 30 years back, right? We saw all these film heroines. They had good amount of weight, and nobody felt that there is weight. Okay, and doing the program, how fat and women are connected. Nature has a reason. It doesn't mean that you have to be overweight, but there is a connection between fat and woman. If all the fat is taken away, how she cannot conceive. Okay, this is something very interesting. So many people go through that. And because women are so, they want to be perfect most of the times, right? Things are sold to them in the name of perfectionism. Like, okay, all they have to do in the 30-second advertisement, they have to show how she's not enough where she is now. That's all they had to do. Look at all the Fair and Lovely advertisement. Look at all the Kellogg's advertisement. Look at all the advertisement. All they're showing is how you're not enough. Okay. And if you really see in the world, right, money, or you have to have certain job or certain, thing, amount, or you need to own something to really feel valuable in the society. Having, the what is that art or music or dance, this is not enough. Maybe those are not considered as full-fledged professions, right? So somewhere I feel they need to come in balance. At the same time, I also understood, Nivedita, that even the masculines, right, they are also under attack, because the real masculine doesn't come out in the society. It doesn't have that, facing the truth or speaking the truth, right? Just stand up, because when you stand up and speak the truth, probably somebody is punished or beaten, right? So they don't want to speak the truth, right? And boys, and I see even men, they don't want to connect to their body many times, and they are not in the like, what you say, they want to nourish their body or take care of their body, all that, right? So they are also taught that money is a real power. They have to chase behind that money, right? That is something I feel. And the second thing I really, really want, this question came after this person. I don't know, there is a lot of controversy going on suicide or murder. But after reading this book, there is a beautiful book by Sadhguru, Death and Inside Story. Okay. It really brought so many topics, and suicide can be really one of the worst deaths, in my understanding or perception. What if person is told from his childhood that they are not going anywhere? you know right now, the feeling of, oh, me, after ending this life, I will go somewhere, right? Or there is some other place beautiful than this, right? What if person is told everything is here and right now, right? Will people do the same act, or are we ready to look at life with a lot of courage, eye to eye, and ready to see it? And there is, recently I was reading this poem by Allama Prabhu. He was a 12th century mystic. Okay. And I loved it. He says, person who can't hear himself is deaf person. Person who can't see himself is a blind person. One should really see with lot of courage, himself, or one should really listen to person himself, right? So I really would like to bring these two topics now.
Okay. So yeah, there are several. There are several conversations around death and suicide and all that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have also grown up with certain spiritual teachers talking about that it is being cyclical and it is a never-ending
yeah,
sequence. And one cannot. At the same time, it becomes tougher in the next life and stuff like that. I have no idea whether it's true or not. At the
yeah,
same
yeah,
time, there is a choice. Death is also a choice. And my point of view is death is also a choice, life is also a choice. And in this 10 seconds or in this right now, are we choosing towards, oh, I should do this
yeah.
before I die? Or
Hmm.
am I thinking, I would like to just choose this because I'm going to enjoy this. Just a simple shift in the thought process of I have so many years to live, whether it is I'm going to end my life today or I don't know when I'm going to die, or if I have a terminal illness. Death as such, we are living a life keeping death in mind. Like, I should do
Yes,
this before I die. If you look at people also, they talk about bucket list, 10 things to do before I die. Why would you
yes,
want to my question to anybody is, why would you talk about this before I die instead of what would I like to choose right now and enjoy it?
yes,
There is
exactly.
a certain energetic difference in how we are framing the questions, because words are spellings and they are
Yes,
spells. They have a certain power. And by choosing our words, are we actually creating it in that fashion?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you for that conversation, to bring this conversation up, that what are we actually asking for?
Yeah, I also like feel that, while I know it could be a strong topic, but then am I ready to take responsibility for myself? That's how I
Correct.
feel. If I'm complaining about, and it's has become a very humorous topic for me, Nivedita. Any wife I talk to, right? They say that, do you know, I'm the only one I can bear this situation. If it is somebody else, they would have run away from this place, right? So sometimes I feel that, okay, are we bringing that responsibility of, okay, my issues are my issues and I want to resolve them, that's all.
Yeah.
And it is very beautiful when I say I want to resolve them and ready for it. Okay,
Yeah.
universe throws n number of solution in front of us to resolve the issue. So am I there for solution, or am I want to keep that issue for myself, so which will entertain anyway. The
Yeah.
issue will entertain us for long time, but then it's just a choice. Yeah, it's very very interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, life will throw you
thank you.
lemons. Are you ready for a lemonade or a tequila? It depends on what kind of a drink a person wants.
That's true,
Or
that's
just
true.
do the juggling like children would and have fun, or.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, yeah, we
Yeah,
are gifted a lot of things, whether it is troubles or whether it is something good. I think we are
yeah.
gifted all of them, and what we do with them is our choice.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. So
So,
this is a beautiful word. This is a really beautiful word that you're saying, the choice. Choice is always ours, that's what
yeah.
I have understood.
And the biggest misconception that people have is choice is between two things. It is not that.
Yes,
Choice is
yes,
having, I would like to have this, and I would like to have
yeah,
that, and I would like to have something
yes,
else, and I would like to have something else. And there is no end to the number of choices that we can have.
right, right,
We
right.
also limit ourselves that, okay, I think I've asked enough. There is nothing called
Mm-hmm.
enough. You can ask for more and more and more, but
Yes,
we are not, as in we are not educated, or we are so bulldozed into thinking that you should only limit yourself to that.
yes,
Don't
yes,
ask too much, don't do too much, don't be too much, you
yes,
know.
yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what
Mm-hmm.
would it take to be too much actually? To be more much?
So be that unlimited, be that
Yeah.
whatever
On
that
one side, we
unlimited is.
want to become that spiritual being, which is
Yes.
infinite. And at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, we are also doing actions which talk about being contractive and being limited. And what are
Yes,
we doing exactly?
exactly. That's true.
So,
That's
yeah,
very true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So, impossible, I would say, is I am possible. So,
Yes, 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 yes.
so I know
So
you speak a
that's
lot of beautiful verse in Kannada, and sometimes when you speak, you always tell those little poems and stuff. I would really
yes.
love for you to. I know I'm bumping this on you with no advance notice, but is there something like that in Kannada that you can actually say and translate it?
I think I will need some time. Oh, do you? I mean, anyway, so I think these days I'm into somewhat, enjoy reading the 12th century Vachanas. There are so many mystics, okay, around 12th century. So I'll read one, okay, in Kannada. I think it was just mentioning just few minutes back, okay?
Yeah.
ಎನ್ನ ಎನ್ನ ಕಂಡಡೇನೆಯ ತನ್ನ ತಾ ಕಾಣದಾತ ಕುರುಡ ಎನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದಡೇನಯ್ಯ ತನ್ನ ತಾ ಕೇಳದಾತ ಕಿವುಡ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದಡೇನಯ್ಯ ತನ್ನ ತಾ ಮಾತಾಡದಾತ ಮೂಕ ದಿಟದಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ತಾ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು, ದಿಟದಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ತಾ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು, ದಿಟದಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ತಾ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದೇ ತನ್ನ ತಲೆ ಸ್ವಭೂಮಿ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಕಾಣ ಗುಹೇಶ್ವರ. So what it means now, Niveditha, so if you suppose you can't see yourself, right? It's like a person who is really blind, right? And if you are not able to hear yourself, you're like a deaf, right? And if you can't speak, then it's really you can't speak, right? So what he's suggesting is, with a lot of courage, see yourself. With a lot of courage, listen to yourself. And with a lot of courage, speak up culture, right? Speak up culture. So this is what it is. Swabhumi, I think, I don't know, it's very hard to translate. Swarupa, this is how the creator, or you're connecting with the creator, or you're connecting with yourself, right? You're connecting totally,
Yeah.
So I feel somehow, when I did the inner engineering program, and actually I did inner engineering program 8 years back, but now I see, I really see how much I connect now. Okay, so the one thing what I learned there is taking responsibility, right? Taking responsibility is something for myself, basically, and everything is my responsibility. In reality, yes, suppose I feel I'm not valued, right? And you showed me, do I really value myself, right? Instead of thinking people value me or people value my talent, do I really value my talent, right?
Yeah.
That reflects, so when I ask that question to myself, really it is like taking responsibility.
Yeah.
And this, it
I
is
also
very
love the opening that you do in your workshop, the
yes,
past and the present and the future.
yes. Some things they really come instantaneous. I feel, that is something I really feel I'm gifted. I start with some idea with anybody, I would start this way, but then something happens, different thing happens, and we do differently.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would really love to reiterate what you would start off as in the program, and this is very relevant for the conversation, is the past is gone, the future is not yet come, and we are looking at the gift of the now, present.
Yes, yes.
And you also do Tai Chi easy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is also I know that my husband does practice Tai Chi, and then this is the first time I was hearing Tai Chi easy from you. And
Mm-hmm.
so can you say more about that?
Yeah. So Victor Cullen has introduced a lot of topics to me, and I'm blessed with a lot of gurus in my life, right? So Tai Chi is something that anybody can do wherever they are. You don't have to be. There's no strict diet plan that you have to be in certain way to start doing this Tai Chi easy. Um, Tai Chi is something. It is like yoga, right? You have to go through certain format and the strict discipline. But Tai Chi is something Roger Yanka he has come up with this very easy steps. But easy doesn't mean that it's easy on the healing effect, right? It has tremendous benefits. So it can be done by people who are in a standing posture, or people who can't really be in the standing posture. They have physically challenged people in the sitting posture, or somebody who is on the bed. Everybody can do it. And then I was able to connect with the energy, basically. When I did Tai Chi, I still remember, right? I first time I felt that, okay, the energy or feel of that energy, and then for me, I really love it because it feels like a dance. It feels like a dance. And I do it when I'm cooking, or now I'm not traveling, but I go by BART, the train. So when I'm waiting for the train, right, or I'm at work, I do it. So it's very easy and same time it's fun to do it. So I did my certification as a TaiChi Easy practice leader. So what that means is I can practice with people, I can really, so what I usually do, Niveditha, I bring these techniques into my weight management program. And recently, on my website, there's a 30-day NEAT challenge. Um, so what I'm trying to do is, yes, NEAT is something like, it's an art exercise. How not doing regular exercise or workouts, how can you really get yourself in that moving mode, right? A whole day and keep yourself busy. And I'm trying to bring this Tai Chi here also, the small practices you can do every hour or every 2 hours, So it fits into all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this information. And thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or we can close it here?
Like I said, I just want to say one thing. I think I'm in love with the concept called life coach. And that's where I started with, actually. I know we talked a lot about food and body mind coaching and all that, but base to all this is life coach. And in a way, I feel this is very close to spirituality also. And it teaches how to be non-judgmental and listen to person and bring out best in people, and they navigating their life through, I only provide them tools, but then using these tools, right, tapping into their inner wisdom, how a person can empower himself and they get that confidence that they can walk. And I really really love to see that confidence in people, and cheer, the really feeling empowered. And I really feel that, world is beautiful with empowered human beings.
Yeah.
That's all I want to bring here. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for all those people who think, I have to leave my job to pursue my passion and stuff like that, I would like to reiterate and say that your day job is not this, in the sense that
Yeah.
you are a IT professional, and you also
Mhm.
do this. It's not, again, I'm coming and reiterating this point, because there is life coaching that you do, there is weight management that you do, there is IT that you do, there is home that you manage, and it's just that everything encompasses you. It's not like you're trying to fit into one subject or the other. It's not like you're
Yeah.
focusing that I'm a life coach. No, you are being a life coach, you are being an IT professional, you are being a weight management, you are being a
Yeah.
practitioner in your life. And this is the beauty that I'd like to acknowledge about you. And for being that beacon of that person saying that, yeah, we can do everything. It doesn't be that you have to leave something to have something. We can have them all.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much.
Yeah. And thank you very much for Niveditha for giving me this opportunity. I would say you were, I told you, like, you were my first inspiration. When I was, I was really like, the thing is, I had a lot of confidence in the concept, but then, bringing that concept into reality and practicality, and then I know you have empowered so many women and so many human beings, especially. Right? You have empowered me also, and then I understood that, okay, I can make my dream into reality. So you have introduced so many tools to me also. So yeah, my journey is going on, and whoever really really want to make use of the tools I had to provide, I can be just like a doorway, right? And then
Yeah.
help them.
And we all.
That's all. And more than anything, I'm learning and evolving as a person, and they are, in reality, my clients are my teachers, basically. That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has become very easy for me. Life has become like a circle with less resistance slowly, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope this conversation brings that ease, or in somebody's life, right? Or if they connect with us
Yeah.
and they want to figure out.
Yeah.
And
Even
thank you
if,
so much.
yeah, and whether they do connect with us or not, if this conversation has moved something or changed something, then we are happy.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I've had these things. Sometimes you have thoughts in your mind and you want to speak up, and
Yeah.
you gave me that platform to speak
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. What is the use of all the knowledge that we have that we accumulate if we can't share it with someone, right?
Yes, potential and kinetic energy, right? So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And also that, we can gather a lot of information and we can seek it as knowledge or consider it as a wisdom when we actually practically use it for ourselves and
yes,
also share it. So, yeah,
right, right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
thank you.